Next in CSS, we are going to see grid layout. So grid layout, or we can say grid, is the combination of rows and columns, and it is used to design a web page, and it doesn't require float and position property to place element into it. So here is our basic HTML, and within body section I'm creating one class. I'm assigning this class to dev, and within this container dev I'll be designing another class, and I will be assigning that class to another dev. This is item class and I'm assigning it to another dev. Yeah, I'm putting one. So this is our container dev. Inside this container dev we have put item and 5 times. Save it, and here within head section we are giving style tag, and within this style tag first of all I'm removing all the margins and padding. So for that, margin to 0 pixel, and padding is also 0 pixel. Save. Next we are going to design container class. This is our container class. To design grid, we have to put display property to grid. It has two value, display grid or display inline grid. We'll see them, we will see both of them. So first of all we'll see display grid. Display to grid. So it's a block level element, it is going to occupy whole space. Next, how many columns we want. So for that we have grid template columns, and here I'm giving 20% for first column, 20% for second column, 20% for third column, 20% for fourth column, and 20% for fifth column. This way it will going to design 5 columns. Next attribute is column gap. How much gap we want in between two columns. Column gap. Here I am giving 5 pixel. Next class we have to design is item class. So dot item, this is going to be our second class, and in this class first of all I am giving background color, and here I am choosing aqua. Save and go live. So this is the column number 1 in which we have written 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 columns we have designed in this grid layout. We want more rows below it, then what we are doing here is copy. This way we have created 3 rows. So we can see that there are 3 rows, but there is no boundary, that's why it is not showing rows. So here I'm giving border to 1 pixel, solid black. Save. So these are the rows. We can give even margin as well. So here I'm putting margin to 5 pixel. Save. So it has got the margin. Now here in item class we can give all the text formatting features which we have learned so far. So we can give padding. I'm here giving padding of 12 pixel. Then we can give font size, and here I'm giving it as 30 pixel. Then is text align, and here I'm putting it in center. We can change the color of text. Here I'm putting it brown. Save. So this is now our page is looking right now. Now here we have given column gap. Instead of gap, we can give row gap as well, or we can put here gap only. Gap means it will work for both rows and column. Now we have put gap here, so 5 pixel will be gap for rows and column. So we can see that it has changed. Now if we want to give different gaps to row and different gaps to column, so 5 pixel and 2 pixel here I'm saying this is for row and this is for column. So row gap is 5 pixel and gap is 2 pixel. Now here we have put display to grid. Instead of grid, it has one more value, that is inline grid. So if we are putting here display grid, it is going to work at going to work at block level. But if we are putting here inline grid, it means that it is making block level grid container to display inline. So we have put here inline grid, save it and go live. So we can see that initially when it was display grid, it was occupying whole space from left of the screen to the right of the screen. But when we have put inline grid, it is not occupying that much of space. As of now, here I am putting grid only. Now we have seen column gap, we have seen gap. Gap is generalized term for both column and row gap. Now here one more term is there, that is row gap. Row gap. That means it is used to specifically give gap to row. It is not going to give gap to column. That will be automatic. So it has given, we have mentioned here row gap should be 5 pixel and it is giving gap of 5 pixel in between two rows, and column gap is automatic.